lot of things been on my mind lately. A lot of things I've been ruminating and contemplating. A lot of things have been stolen and taken by Satan. A lot of things I don't know about, I'm just trying to make it, but he can't phase me. Forget the 10, my Lord God made me. I ain't talking Mike Gill, word to the underground, yeah, we making noise. And if you didn't know about us, yeah, we them boys, we be spitting smoke.
All right, and welcome to the Heavy Revy Show. I'm your host, Josue Ibarra, and I got Clay to the left with me, and then we got a newbie on the side with us. Yeah. Karl, say what's up, dude.
What's up, everybody?
Dude, it's, first off, super pumped that you're able to join us. Karl's in this book study that Clay started, and so we love talking about books, and I just love Karl's thoughts. He gets deep and dark and weird and like super nice. But anyways, it's awesome. So I wanted his brain and his thoughts in here too, and so we're gonna dive into. Go ahead, Clay. Tell us about what book we're diving into.
My Miracle Morning. Yeah.
Man, it should.
You gotta lean in, Clay.
You have to lean in like this.
Oh,
Fist
yeah.
away.
Yeah. You can grab it. You can move it around if you feel like necessary.
Yeah, how's that?
There it is.
That sounds little.
Hello, we're up close.
Yeah.
But My Miracle Morning, yeah. Ooh, let me calm down a little bit. But yeah, tell us about it, Clay. First, thank you for introducing that book to us, to the group. Or was that you, Karl?
No,
that was me.
That was not me.
Yeah, a friend, her name's Susie. She recommended it because she kept seeing all the books that I was posting. And was like, have you read about this book called My Miracle Morning? And I've read and listened to several other podcasts where they talk about like these great leaders of big businesses and other successful people, and they all think that they say that your morning is the prime time. That's how you set up not only your day but your week, and you are setting your life up for success by having a solid morning routine.
So are you a morning person, Clay?
No.
No, so I'm not either. So this was a hard read for me, kind of digest.
Yeah, no, I suck too. Like I probably hit my snooze. I was the guy who set up like 6 different alarms. You know what I mean? And then even after the 6th one, I'm like, I'll wake up in a little bit.
I'll think about it for a little longer. Yeah.
Yeah,
but
it's a forced. It's like, what do you want in life, right? So if you want to achieve great things, and if all these people have this. Like successful habit in the morning, and that sets them up, then love experimenting with 30-day challenges and stuff like that. But that's where I started. I've got the Colorado Trail coming up, and so training for that and having all the just getting my morning set up so that not only win the day but really prepare for something big in July.
Yeah, giddy up, man. And like I think, what was that quote that one of you guys were sharing about? And it's from the book Atomic Habits, I believe, but it's that author James Clear. He, you kept quoting it to us. It's about like you don't decide your future. You decide your habits, and your habits decide your future. And I noticed that My Miracle Morning was one of those things that's helping me step forward and just getting my life a little more in line and in tune and being a little more disciplined. Which, I'll be honest, it was kind of hard for me too, Karl. Man, I totally again agree with that. But let's break this down, man. What was the biggest thing that y'all got from this?
Am I starting this off?
Yeah, start us off.
So I thought it was both of these books. Both of the guys have a dramatic injury that starts off their life. I thought that was really weird. And then they go on to figure out how to be successful in their way after that dramatic event. So I'm wondering, I thought that was weird. First off.
I guess who was it? Billy Epperhart. He would always talk about change, and he'd say man, you won't really change. I mean, there's different forms of why you would change, but most times people don't change unless they really have to, or they're kind of forced to, or there's that. We can start talking about what's his name? Jordan Peterson. That necessary evil that comes up that causes the hero in you to rise up. Maybe that's what I don't know. But then again, I don't want to be in a car crash to, eventually find out, you know what? I need to get my mornings right.
What do you want to do? What do you want to become? What is it that you see your future self being? And
there you go, Clay.
Yeah.
Yeah, come a little closer.
Come a little bit closer.
Hey, there he is. But Yeah, no, it's so true. And for me, I think I love the breakdown of savers, which we'll in a little bit tack that down. But I'm an ENFJ, so the J in me, anytime there's structure and order lined out, I thrive with, man. If you can make something clear for me.
So bringing that up, like
Yeah.
personalities. So do you think that like varies from like people to people, like severely? Like, do you think this is just for like a certain person?
Ooh, no, honestly, I don't. Someone really broke which is probably another book we'll end up talking about, but You Can't Hurt Me. You know what I mean? David Goggins. The dude's a beast.
I haven't heard that one yet, but he is a beast.
Yeah, but like he like just basically breaks the thing down of like there's no excuse. Like, you know, a lot of people look at me and say, anyways, quick summary about David Goggins. He's like this 300-pound dude who like cut weight in 3 months in order to be part of the Navy SEALs, and he went through like boot camp like 3 different times. Anyways, super achiever. He's like a number 3. I think we're all 3s in the Enneagram, right? Too.
Mm-hmm.
Right? No, you're a 1.
He's a
okay.
1. Yeah.
Ooh.
Perfectionist.
Yeah.
Giddy up. All right. That's why he keeps Clay closer, right here.
Yeah.
But I mean, for David Goggins, he was a beast mentally, and he put his mind to, you know, really get his body to conform to what he wanted to become. But his thing, he was saying, it's like a lot of people point, oh, that's just you. There's just something special about you, or oh, that's just your personality or your preference.
Those are just excuses,
right? And that's what he was saying. Like, there's just, you know, blankety blank 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 excuses.
Yep.
I won't say it. I'll let David say it. But really, like, you can't use your personality type. And I think Clay, a while back when I interviewed you, this was a while back, man, when we were just doing audio for the Heavy Revy show about how to be growth hungry.
Yeah.
That was kind of one of the things we and you talked about a little bit in personalities, that, you know, I'm not so religious about it in the sense of, well, I'm an ENFJ, so I can't, you know. For me, I love chaos. I mean, I love organization, but I don't freak out when it's not there either, though. Where some people, they get so bound to their personality type, oh my gosh, there's no organization. This sucks. I can't deal with it. I can't do it. No, you just slide to the scale of, okay, I can work with this, and then maybe start adding the structure in that direction. But I don't know. That's
habit
my
forming.
thoughts.
It's making a decision. Mm-hmm. When you make that decision that I want to do X, whatever that is, then you have to start creating habits and then get the groove hardwired to your brain. Yeah. So it doesn't matter whatever the thing is that you're trying to accomplish.
Right.
But it's like making a decision and then fighting your flesh over and over and over and over again until this is how I do things now.
Yeah. And I think for My Miracle Morning, it really gives you a simple breakdown of it. So let's break down savers. The one that I probably need to practice most, no, not really, but silence, you know, learning to be silent in the morning. So when do you guys want to hit that and just kind of break that down?
Yeah, when we started, I think in the beginning of the year, we were talking about this book, and I started putting it into practice. So every single day, trying to get your morning routine set up. You don't have to start out like with a full 2 hours before you have to be at work, or however many hours you want to do, but it's like incrementally. Yeah. Or you can take a big chunk. Like I said, I have to be at work by 7, so I backed up my schedule to 5:30. And then as I started working these kind of steps to get your Miracle Morning together, I noticed I needed more time. But it was because I started filling in more space.
I see.
Because I started seeing value in the time that I was spending. It's like, if I get up just a little bit earlier, I can really accomplish everything in the time that I need to do each one of these things we're about to cover. And 4:50 is the time. Wow. And I was executing that for the past month and a half until I went on vacation and a mission trip. And today I hit snooze for 2 hours.
Oh my gosh.
Man, when Clay got here earlier, man, he looked like a ton of bricks had hit him, man. He's a champion. He's doing it.
Got the coffee going.
Thank God for the coffee, man. By the way, how do you guys drink your guys' coffee? Black, cream, sugar?
I like French vanilla creamer or just half and half.
Ooh. Yeah, I like mine black.
I like the taste of coffee.
Yeah, it's true. Medium roast, good old, I forgot what brand it was, but it's a medium roast.
I think so. I used to do like a lot of like half and half or like French vanilla, like all about that. But now I guess to get off like wean off more and more sugar is how that happened. And then somehow I started liking the taste.
Yeah.
Now I still do lattes though, and with that obviously they add their stuff. But when I just want coffee, I just do it black.
It's coffee flavored sugar milk.
Sugar honey iced tea.
A little sugar with your coffee.
But real quick too, actually, I forgot I missed a step because I brought up my old school alarm because that's what I actually use now, and I literally set this alarm on top of my bookshelf in order to make myself get up. And my boss, there was a season, young Josue, very, very younger Josue, because I'm still very young. It's my Kobe year, 24. Rest in peace, Kobe. But
Too soon.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, one drip. I'm kidding. Anyways, but my boss he gave me that recommendation because there's times I would come in tardy and stuff like that, and he's like, dude, we can't have that. So he told me to get an old school alarm, so I got it, and now I have it on my bookshelf. And when it rings up, I have to get up. Which now the tempting part, where before the alarm's on, you just slap your phone and then you just cover yourself back up. Now it's standing up, and oh my gosh, do I jump back in bed or do I just go after it? And it's fun because each time I get up, I get to it's that big deciding factor in making that easy choice of go brush my teeth, let me just go rinse my face real quick, and then I start these habits.
Yeah, you're saying we're in Colorado, by the way, and it's cold here pretty much all year round. And what was that little hack you did to get?
Yeah. So what I would do is I would set my thermostat to go up to like 73, 74, probably about like 15 minutes before I got up. So
that's actually a good idea. Yeah, so it's not cold.
So it's not cold, and I'm not like tempted to like. So like when it goes off, I'm like, okay, it's feeling fine. Let me just go rinse my face, brush my teeth, boom, go after it and start my savers. It's helped me a little bit, but I mean, when people, for me, all right, failure of Josue, okay. Anytime though I have family come over, it just seems like it messes up my whole schedule where everything is out. And so my dad recently came over, not blaming you, Dad, but anyways, kinda I am. I just need to be a 3 and own it. But a part of me though was just more of, after that, having that schedule shift, and I had a buddy who stayed over for the weekend too. Man, it's like it just messed up my schedule, and so I just haven't been back on it. Shame.
It's hard getting that. I think it's harder if you've started your routine and you're just rocking it every single day, and then something happens that disrupts that. If it's more than a couple of days,
yeah. Like
for me right now, getting back on schedule and trying to get up early. I know the remedy, the cure for me getting back into the miracle morning is getting up at 4:50 and don't hit snooze.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what time I go to bed, because I think in a couple of days your body will acclimate to the new time.
Yeah.
Even if you're like, I came back from a couple of different hour. I was in New Orleans. Mm-hmm. I was an hour ahead, and then I went to Hawaii, and it's 3 hours behind. So I was really jacked up, and now it's daylight savings.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
So each one of those time changes have just sent my body into it. But I know getting up at 4:50 a.m. will reset in a couple of days, even if I'm miserable over the next couple of days.
Huh. Let me pick your guys' brain on this real quick too, because he said this in the book on My Miracle Morning, where he said there's studies that prove that you need 8 hours, and then there's also studies that kind of debunk that you can't really solidify that. What are you guys' thoughts on that?
Well, I think you got to figure out what you like, what best suits you, because there's those studies where like some people only need like an hour of sleep, and it's like it's genetics. And like those people are like weird. Well, like if you look it up, they have a hard time like having relationships and stuff because they're just always going.
Huh.
And they like always doing something because they only need hours of sleep. So they seem to be like super industrious people.
Wow.
Are the ones, and then like what are the high achievers out there? I feel like they they go to bed at 2 and they get up at 4 or something ridiculous. It's like I'm wondering if part of it's genetics.
Good thought, Clay. What you think?
I don't know. I think we're all the same, right?
Yeah.
Are we?
No, we're not. We're all wired so differently. And each one of us has, I think, if you talk about like our different schedules with work and after work routines and stuff like that, everybody's got a different kind of, I think about some of the Charis students and how they are at school from 8 to 12, and then they immediately go to their job, and then they're plugged into their local church. And so by the end of the day, I mean, they're they've got a pretty full schedule.
Yeah.
Sleeping into the last minute
Mm-hmm.
is what they need to get there. And so how do you manage that? Even though it's a short period of time,
Right.
3 years of coming to Charis.
But that's a good thought too. I mean, like, it just depends on the season that you're in too, I guess. Not saying that to give you like no excuse to not at least attempt or go after your miracle morning, because it is true. Like, I have noticed a difference when I started applying these principles based off the book, and you guys can speak to that or not. But man, it's just so true. Like, there are something about, he put out different millionaires, different people who are making money, different people who are successful. They always seem to accomplish something at least before 8 a.m. And I understand, like, there's just different challenges. Like, I wouldn't expect my sister, right? My sister, she is a single mom with 2 kids. And so she has a lot going on, and she's working really hard in her job. I mean, that's super hard to try to conduct all those different things.
You still need to do something in the morning.
But right, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So like, even if you think about, like, if you've ever been late to work or late to school or whatever, and if you were to get up 15 minutes earlier than you normally do, you're already not in a rush, and your day set up for a little bit more success.
Yeah.
But every single day, how does that tax your brain being late every day? Mm-hmm. You're responsible for that.
Yeah. No, it's definitely true. Definitely true. Definitely a balance in that sense. But real quick, let's break down the savers. So I'm just going to go through them real quick, and then we'll just unpack it. But savers just simply stands for silence, affirmation, visualization, exercise, read, and scribe. How are you guys with your own miracle morning? Do you guys hit all savers or
no? I have not implemented this yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I'll talk about and like I said, I have on and off hit these things. I'm not like a perfect genius yet where I've got it down and I'm doing it 100%, but the times that I have, eventually my routine, what it looks like, boom, my alarm goes off, I get up, my bookshelf, slap that thing. And he recommended like put in like jogger's clothes or your workout clothes or whatever like that on the side. So I generally have my sweatpants and my sweater, throw those on, brush my teeth, wash my face, and I have like little sticky notes on my mirror that I just start reading over myself. The visualization part I probably skip because I probably do that as I'm going for a walk on my exercise piece where I'm just going out. Man, I'm going to go walk a couple blocks and walk back, which I know for myself I had to change up too because I figured, I won't do so much big exercise in the morning because I'll do it like generally when I get off of work and done with like church stuff, and I'll go and lift weights. But I know another thing for myself, if my goal is to really cut weight, I probably don't need to lift weight. Probably need to go more on the cardio side and doing that, which this week I'll probably be starting out for me. And
there's
you
some
guys
theories about that.
Oh,
lift heavy.
Really? Lift heavy?
Lift
you
heavy.
think so?
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Lift heavy, I'll help you drop.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
I
got nothing for you.
Oh, okay. Come on, we need an 8 in here, man. We need a challenger.
Yeah.
But after that, then I just, after I do my walk, I come back, I read a little bit, and then I don't scribe actually writing on a notepad. I use my phone and I just type it in a journal. But yeah, that's me.
So
what about you?
my morning is at 4:50. I wake up, and that gives me the time to just kind of wake up, and I do it. It's at that weird number because 5 o'clock is the time that I want to start this process. And so for the first 10 minutes, I'm waking up, making coffee, splashing water on my face is one of the suggestions from the book. And then at 5 o'clock, I sit down. My goal is 10 chapters in the Word every single day. And so I listen to it. I do either something on YouVersion.
So do you think that's cheating, listening and actually reading?
Nope.
No? Why?
Because my brain that's why I love Audible. I mean,
your brain will what?
Just fly off. I like
if you read.
Yeah, if I read one sentence, I'll start thinking about that while my eyes move down the page.
Really?
I'll be like two or three pages over before, and I'm like, I've been thinking about the one thought, but I'm 3 pages ahead and have no idea what's going on here. But when I listen to an Audible, it accesses somehow visually as to what's going on.
I think it all goes back to down to like the different types of learning. Some people are more audible, some people are more like you have to see it.
I thought we were all the same though.
I kid.
We are, aren't we? Aren't we?
Yeah. So that first, the first part of the day is 10 chapters in the Word, and then I've been using some kind of devotional. So it's just something that's spiritual and is a little more digestible than just reading the Word. The Word can be kind of rich sometimes, depending on where you're at. And I've got 2 journals that I'm working with right now. One is just a life journal, 2020, and the other one's Colorado Trail Journal. So depending on what I do the day before, like if I watch a couple of hours worth of a couple of different through hikers talking about how to pack, what to pack, what to eat, and all that kind of stuff, I'll journal some like takeaways. It's like I'm going to implement. My dinner will be some type of ramen with a Snicker candy bar and then something else. That'll be my dinner every single day for a week, right? Yikes. And so I journal all that stuff, so I know like when I'm ready to write the Colorado Trail book, I've already got everything kind of written out, how I prepared, what happened on the trail, and so that's kind of my purpose behind that journal.
Right on.
And then what else is on here? I try to visualize what's happening. I use my Outlook calendar and see what's happening. Like what meetings do I have today, and then how can I best already start thinking about how I'm going to contribute in that meeting. I want to be a contributor, right? Affirmations. I'm smart enough, and people like me.
You smart, you special, you kind.
What's that guy from Saturday Night Live? Do you remember Stuart Smalley? No, anyway. Showing my age, anyway. And then after I finish kind of like my morning routine, I have about 10 minutes to get ready, and then I walk to work. Boom. And so it's about 3.5 miles to work, and so that's kind of the whole.
That's your morning, man.
Yeah.
That's a miracle, man.
Yeah, it is.
Karl, for you, I kind of want to piggyback go back to that talk. Do you do Audible more, or do you read?
I do Audible more.
Audible?
Growing up, I had a hard time reading. So I was just I just wanted to prove a point with Clay. I love Audible. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah. No. I think it's, everyone's style of learning is different. So you just got to figure out what works.
Yeah, no, it's so true. Like, I know when I interviewed you on how to be growth hungry minded, something like that. It's you guys can check it out. Audio isn't that great, okay?
It was a really good podcast.
It was really good, man. I think we went for 45 minutes or something like that. It was super awesome. But anyways, at that season in my life, like, I couldn't really do Audible, dude. Like, I just struggled with it. Yeah, like, to me, and not that I struggled with it, that I wouldn't get much out of it. It's just, if I'm reading, to me it sticks because I'm one of those highlight circle, I'm going through this new job I'm in, and I'm reading the job manual, and one of the other leaders was checking it out. He's like, oh man, I love your thought process, because literally like for me, I have to circle things, I have to underline where that connects to, and that just helps me stay more focused. And now I think your influence on me on this, Clay, is I go through Audible all the time now. And I don't understand why my brain was like that, because like I can listen to podcasts all day, love podcasts. But when it came to Audible books, it's just different.
The thing, like what you said though, like highlighting the stuff, what's nice about that, you can always go back and like good quotes, the process. Yeah. But with Audible, it's really, I guess you don't have that at all.
Yeah, you're talking about seasons and how like different seasons in your life where you're. When I have a lot of downtime, like typically the summers happen to be that way. I really like to have Audible with the hard copy, and so.
Thank God for number ones, real quick. Yeah. Fist bump that right there, dude.
He's like, because I can't hear him in my headphones, and I'm like, golly, Clay, move up.
Here it is, right here.
About a fist away.
Yeah. So
listen to the Joe Rogan podcast. About a fist away.
Yeah. About a fist away. Boom.
But when I have a lot of time on my hands, I will use the hard copy with the Audible. That way, I can still make my notes and still kind of keep the pace. And kind of get the theme of the book, because I'll get lost by just reading. I'll read a sentence. My brain will be stuck on whatever that thought was, and then I'll be 3 pages in and have to go back. That's just. But something I mentioned in that podcast though was us in this day and age where we have everything at our fingertips. How to learn whatever you want to pursue, you can do that.
Right.
And so, if you want to be a leader, there's audiobooks and there's podcasts and there's all these different things. And I think the more that you discover these different influencers, you start to really widen up, information. That's what kind of led me to this book.
Yeah. No, it's a powerful book, man. I really enjoyed it. How would you guys rate the book? Or first, real quick, tell me you guys the scales. How do you guys rate books? Like, example, like for myself, I rate books more based on like how applicable was it, right? Or
That's
how much did it make an
how
impact? Did it make impact or inspiration for me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
how applicable for sure.
So scale like 1 to 5. What would you guys rate this book? Or Clay, do you scale it differently?
I do kind of scale it differently, yes.
So-
Because if you read one sentence that changes your life, that book is a ringer. Does that make sense? I mean, not just that was a good thought.
True.
I can
That wasn't
partially agree with that because like part of like for me, like, and not saying that like the book is trash if I've read one thing and it's super good, but like to me is like if I'm trying to recommend for someone else to really get this, I can just tell them, hey, let me tell you the quote. You don't have to really read it. I'll just give you the good stuff. I'll give you the sauce.
But the building around that one concept though can really, even though there's a difference in fluff, and we've talked about that.
Right.
But
John Maxwell's.
Yeah.
Someone had to say it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
See, like
Great concepts, but just like I do rate some books like that where they'll have one concept that brings home. I mean, it changes your life. You know, this is one of those books where you could read it, and if it could be shorter.
Yeah.
The book could be shorter, but you kind of get these other stories that kind of help build the case for why you should do a morning. Why you should have a morning routine. Yeah.
Yeah, and like I said, I can see that. I think I probably lean though, like with the John Maxwell books. Like there's one book that, sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. Awesome book, awesome concept. But honestly, that's the main principle that I walked away with. Which at the end of the day, that goes to clear communication of what he was just trying to convey. But he had all these other. To me, I called it fluff on that sense. But, anyways. With that, for your scale, what would you rate My Miracle Morning?
I'd give it a strong number. I mean, I'd be
like a 1 to 5. 5 being amazing, 1 is okay.
4.5.
4.5. Okay.
Because of the content.
Okay.
Because like if you literally listen to this, get the concept, and then put it into practice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I would agree. I'm probably around the same for sure. Just
for me,
easy and applicable.
I would say a 5. I would give it a 5 for myself just because, again, it made it so practical. Mm-hmm. And, again, that's how I scale it. Like, man, if I was inspired by the stories added to each concept of, being silent in the morning. And they talked about meditation, but, us as Christians, I don't know, some Christians kind of do some kind of form of meditating to the Lord, but I've used that time for prayer and, the affirmation side. I mean, that's scriptural.
He even says that, like, prayer, meditation, like, mixed in there.
Yeah, like, just for anyone. I think the affirmation part too is just speaking life over yourself. I mean, all of these things were just awesome. So for me, I rated it 5. But yeah, any last things you guys want to say about My Miracle Morning before we say adios to our peeps?
Do y'all have any morning routines that we didn't list here? And are they working for you? So comment below on some of the things that are working for you. Maybe we'll pick them up, start using them.
Yeah.
Can I mention one last thing before we move on?
Oh, yeah.
It was the one thing I did not like about this book.
Oh, yes.
He's such a salesperson. He mentioned in the morning he worked for Cutco.
Uh-huh.
And then the sales training, all the coaching he did. If you notice, he would like almost prime you. And it drove me nuts. Well, like an example, he would say like, "Oh, like so you picked up this book, so that means you are ready for your new life." It's like, now do it now. Anything's possible. Like nothing's limitless. And I'm like, oh God, like I can't do this.
Yeah.
He's selling me right now, and I was like, nope, I don't want this.
Josue and I rode there.
Yeah. Hook, line, and sinker.
But besides that, I enjoyed the book.
Hey, but what's cool about that, even though you were being sold, you still gave it like a 4.5.
I did.
So, I mean, that's kind of cool.
Through. I was forced to read this book because of the book club. Yeah. I was like, I did not want this. I was like, nope, that is not true. And I was like, I don't want to keep reading this.
You're not in my mind, okay? You don't know what I want, dang it.
Exactly.
But no, see, and that's why we have Karl on board, man. He's willing to like throw out those zingers, dude. Yeah. Like a John Maxwell. Love you, Maxwell and J Max. I quoted you in our last interview.
Book.
Yeah,
he has great stuff.
But man, you're willing to say the stuff that's just awesome. So there's another fist bump for that. Thank you for giving good thoughts and making Clay get closer to the mic. Appreciate you.
Mm-hmm. I've got it positioned properly now.
Well, you guys are awesome. Again, comment below. Yeah, like Clay said, if there's any different morning routines you guys do, or man, what you guys thought about it. Like, share, subscribe. Share with some friends that you think will enjoy the podcast. But you guys are awesome. Peace.
A lot of things been on my mind lately. A lot of things I've been ruminating and contemplating. A lot of things have been stolen and taken by Satan. A lot of things I don't know about, I'm just trying to make it, but he can't phase me. Forget the 10, my Lord God made me. I ain't talking Mike Bill, word to the underground, yeah, we making noise. And if you didn't know about us, yeah, we them boys. We be spitting smoke.